All right, hello, welcome to this update on what's going on with the power situation in Louisiana. We still have over 1 million people without power in Louisiana, and Mississippi, the numbers have gone down. We also have some in Georgia, too, as well. And California, which isn't related to Ida, 61,000 people without power. I'm assuming this is due to either a power shutoff or related to the fires, perhaps. Oh, Orange County. Yeah, this is where there's a big outage. 39,000. What's going on in Orange County right now? We have 39,000 people without power. I don't know if that's due to a storm or what. Let's see. It looks like they're all Southern California Edison customers. So I don't know what's going on there. Let's see. We have to go to sce.com and see. Let me get this out of the way before we talk about Ida here. Outage map. And we'll go to the outage map and see. Outage map. Let's see what we got here. I don't know if there is a public safety power issue. I don't think there's a public safety power shut off. Let's see if there are any public safety outages. I don't think there are any PSPSs that are in effect. I think this is a outage due to, and I shouldn't even be, I should really just be talking about, let's go to the outage map. Outage map unavailable. So, we don't know what's going on in Orange County, California right now. Yeah, there we go. Orange County power outage. Orange County, California. And then we're going to get to the other thing. Because I really... well, nothing going on. Nothing in the news about a power outage in Orange County. Apparently there is a big power outage in Orange County, California, but there's nothing in the news about it. Anyway, let's get to what we do know, and that is what's going on with Hurricane Ida. So let me go back to the power outage map here. So there seems to be some issue in California right now. All right, looks like now it's down to 22,000. So it just refreshed again. So I don't know what happened there. There's some issue in Orange County I don't know what the hell happened, but you know what? That's not what this video is about. So let's talk about Ida, the latest with Ida. There's some good news with this, and this Entergy says there are 2 viable paths for first light into the greater New Orleans area. So, just 2 days after Hurricane Ida delivered a catastrophic blow to Louisiana, Entergy has determined 2 options to first bring the lights into greater New Orleans area by late evening Wednesday, September 1st. The company is working on the following solutions to restore power. Restoration of certain critical transmission lines that tie the greater New Orleans region to the larger electric grid. This is the preferred solution. Or creating an island that would temporarily isolate the greater New Orleans region from the larger electric grid. This standalone grid would operate on a limited basis, supplied by local generation from the New Orleans Power Station, Eastern New Orleans, and 9 Mile 6 in Bridge City. Under either scenario, New Orleans Power Station and 9 Mile Power Station will be extremely valuable and important sources of local generation, providing power to customers. Any power to the region will allow the company to begin powering critical infrastructure in the area, such as hospitals, nursing homes, and first responders in Orleans, Jefferson, St. Bernard's, and Plaquemines parishes, as well as St. Charles and Terrebonne parishes. Restoration will vary by parish and neighborhood based on local transmission and distribution damage. So this is what they're determining, and they have several paths of power here that they are going to go over. Let's take a look and see the damage here. They have a gallery here of the damage here that has taken place. You see they're doing some work, restoring power, restoring some of the distribution lines. There's a whole bunch of them knocked down right there. But looking at this image here, you'll be able to see that this is damage in a substation. That is a transmission part of a transmission tower that had come down in a substation, and that is the issues on the transmission side that they are dealing with. Here's some more pictures. You can see some distribution and sub-transmission on the top there. Probably 34.5 kV. Here's some more lines down. Here's another one. That could be 34.5 kV. Whole bunch of 34.5 kV stuff down. Here you see here. So a lot of this 34.5 kV stuff is down. They're going to have to work on a lot of that. They have a lot of 34.5 kV, very much like JCP&L. And what you see on the South Shore here, you see a lot of 34.5 kV. And there's some new poles they're putting in. Here's some more damage. Here's a transmission structure that came down. One of these transmission structures here. Shouldn't be wood. Shouldn't be using wood for any of that. Most of the poles are... here's some more. There you go. There's some more. So this is what they're dealing with right now. Dealing with all this destruction here, and there's a lot. Another one. It's another. See, a lot of damage on the sub-transmission side. There's damage on the transmission side, but there's a lot of damage on the sub-transmission side too. Here's more. Again, those probably could be 34.5 kV again. It's a common. It's really a 34.5 kV is a very common. Here's more. A very common sub-transmission voltage in a lot of parts of the country. Here's some of the flooding. So, yeah, they have some really good pictures here on this site. Look at this one. This pole right in the water. Look at that, right in the water. So, yeah, there you go. There's another picture of it. Right in the water. Oh, man, what a mess. So they have a lot of pictures here. Let's see. There you go. Another damaged pole. Anyway, so this is a huge mess to clean up, as you see here. There's so many poles. You know what's interesting about this? Look at the pine trees like nothing ever happened. More poles down. Another one. So they have a really good gallery of all the poles, and they have another page too here of the damage. More sub-transmission stuff down. So you're gonna have a lot of pictures here. Here's another one. That one there. Some more. I think these lines are okay on top. Those are transmission lines. You can see just a huge mess that they have to clean up. There's some structure damage, and here's a metal pole that came down. There's a metal pole. Yeah, that's a main transmission line right there. Looks like that's metal. It came right down. So even some metal poles came down. And of course they should have the picture of, I guess they don't have the picture of the lattice tower that came down, but you already saw that already. I'm going to go to maps. I'm just going to explain to you, obviously, what it's going to take to get power back into the area. And the bigger feeds, so we already went over 9 Mile Point, which is over here. All right, we went over this, and the feeder that comes in across here, and then goes across the river. These two large towers that go across the river and go into these substations. Where is the substation? Over here somewhere, I know that. So yeah, these are the towers here that go into these substations here, all right? Remember, these came down, all right? These big towers here. Hey, look, there's a pine tree. But these big towers came down. And these are the towers that basically are able to get power from 9 Mile Point back into New Orleans. Now, one of them came down. I'm not sure. Maybe both of them may not have come down. It may have just been one that came down. So they may have one that's still standing. So if one is still standing, then they can use that one to get the power over from 9 Mile Point into New Orleans. All right, from there, and then we already went over how it goes there, and then it gets stepped down to 138 kV, transmitted to the city. All right. However, there is another corridor, another power corridor. They have a power plant in the east. I'm not sure where this power plant is exactly. They said that they have a power plant in the east that they could also run. Here's some lines that come in from the east. I'm not sure where the power plant is in the east. However, there is a corridor from the west, and I think they get a lot of their power from the west as well. A major corridor here, a major transmission corridor, and that is off of, we got to go a little farther west here into an area called Monts, and this corridor right here. This is a big power corridor here. And so their preference obviously would be to get this one running, up and running. You can see here you have some 345 kV stuff, probably 138 and maybe some 230 in the mix. And this is another corridor that comes into New Orleans here that may have some down poles. And this actually is, they actually have a nuclear power plant here called the Waterford. Unfortunately, it was shut down prior to the storm, so this isn't generating any power right now. But this is the Waterford nuclear station. So this is the power coming out of here. This is the Waterford station. So if you go over here, you'll be able to see. There it is, and you can see some of the transmission lines here that come out of here as well. Very high up, and again with these lattice towers, I mean they may have to re-examine these lattice towers because again this area was west of New Orleans, so this is closer to where the eye wall was. So this is where there was more significant damage to the transmission infrastructure, which you don't really have too many pictures of yet in this area. But they're going to have to, a lot of what entails getting the power back, at least in the east, is getting this nuclear power plant restarted again. And this feeds into New Orleans. It goes south, and then it goes south to the south end of the city. It comes in on the south end of the city. But this plant also supplies power to a lot of other parts in Louisiana as well. And what's crazy is there are some really long overwater stretches here of this power line that feeds out of here. I mean, this is nuts. So take a look at this. These people felt like they needed to be in the picture. Okay, so I guess we're not going to use that. But if you look over here, you see that this is one of the feeders that comes out of the nuclear power plant that actually goes out over the lake here. So this is not a good setup. I mean, I don't understand why they're running power lines over a lake where the winds are going to be extremely high and magnified. I'm not sure about that. There's another power line off to the right there, but I have a feeling some of these may have failed as well. Some of these structures that are here, and you could follow this line. This line goes all across this entire lake, literally this entire Lake Pontchartrain. It's quite a stretch too. It goes across the entire lake. Lake Pontchartrain is huge, and then another, so it branches off. One goes north, and then another goes this way, and it goes over the lake going this way here. So that's pretty nuts. Let's see if we can see what it looks like here. So again, look, there it is. This is some of these structures may have failed that you see here. So obviously their preference is to get the grid back up again. Try not to show that guy's face, but you did put your picture on Google Earth, so I can't really help it too much. But you can see here that this line actually comes into New Orleans this way. So, and again, these are all over the water. So this comes in over the water. It's just one single circuit here. Not two circuits, just one. But again, with the lattice towers, so you have to wonder if some of these might have failed, perhaps. So we still don't know to the exact degree of which line. They say they have two paths, so they're looking at two solutions. But the question is, what paths do they have at this point? The more realistic solution may be the island solution. All right. So you can see here, these are the lines again. Here they are. So they can come in over the lake. I mean, that is a huge stretch to have over a lake like that. I don't know why they put them over the lake. That makes no sense at all. I don't know why they did that. But you can see that New Orleans is kind of surrounded by water, you know, and that's the problem. It's kind of an island. So whether it's going to be a power island or it's going to be well, it is an actual island, but it's sort of like an island. But what I'm saying is, whether they might set this up as a power island where it's not going to be connected to the rest of the grid. So if they can't get these other power lines up and running that are connecting outside of New Orleans, then they're going to have to go with local generation, which is 9 Mile Point over here, and then try to get the power out. They might, if they can't get the feed across the river, then they also have a feed that goes south from 9 Mile Point that they could use as well, which goes this way, so they could use this one as well, this path here perhaps. They have 8 paths, so they only need a few. They need to get a few working, and if they can, then they can get the lights back on, at least in the city, where there isn't all the damage to the poles, because in the city of New Orleans, at least in the heart of it, their power lines are underground, except for the transmission system, of course, which is why they have no power right now. So that's the latest on the power situation in New Orleans and Louisiana.